The California legislature has passed a bill offering down payment assistance to illegal immigrant home buyers. If Governor Gavin Newsom signs it into law, it will let illegal immigrants access up to 20% of a home's value, or up to $150,000. California Republicans call the measure a handout that betrays U.S. citizens and incentivizes illegal immigration. Let's bring in San Francisco community activist and former Republican mayoral candidate Richie Greenberg. Richie, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Let's talk about this bill even more. It's called California's Dream for All Home Loan Program. This has passed a Democrat-controlled legislature in California. Now it's going to be up to Governor Gavin Newsom to decide to sign it. But loans up to $150,000, zero down, zero interest, 1,700 lucky people get to, through a lottery, get to take part in this program. And now Democrats, with this bill, allowing illegal immigrants to also take part in this. What do you make of this bill, given the fact that we are dealing with a housing shortage and crisis nationwide, but especially in California?
Yes, hi. Thanks for having me on this morning. So we have a couple of different ways that we can look at this, but unfortunately, we already have a lot of Californians in need. And the idea that you would have people who are here unlawfully, they've broken the law by coming across the border, they've somehow gotten jobs, they've somehow gotten Social Security numbers, and these are the individuals that would be potentially eligible to get this first-time home buying assistance on the dime of taxpayers here in California. Now, this, as we can see, is a result of there being a supermajority of Democrats in our state legislature in Sacramento. And there's really not much way that we can push back against this. That Governor Newsom now has this in his hands. He's got the next 30 days to decide whether he wants to sign it or veto it. And our super majority of Democrats that are in Sacramento, they come up with all sorts of harebrained ideas. And this should be actually very scary, because this sets a precedent. They say that what happens in California, so goes the nation. And we really wouldn't want to push this on any other states, give any other ideas to, say, New York or Florida, any other place like that. This is a very problematic idea. It's very, very troubling. It's scary.
When you look at the median price of a single-family home, let's put this up. It's now $439,000 nationwide. It is nearly $1 million in California. These are record numbers. Americans are struggling here to try to afford a home. And not only can they not afford it, in California, there is a 4 million housing shortage in that state. You got to wonder why they are perhaps not prioritizing trying to fix that first. It's all about the messaging here. And speaking on that, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, she spoke with Bill Maher yesterday, and Bill Maher also seemed a bit surprised about the messaging coming from the Democratic Party at a time of need here for Americans. Let's take a listen to a clip of that.
So you'd vote for this law?
Excuse me?
So you'd vote for this law?
Well, I'm not familiar with exactly what it is, but making the American dream of home ownership available to all people is something we have to do for people who are here now.
This is before you're a citizen. This is undocumented. This is for the undocumented.
Well, what I would like to do is move them to documented. The fact that we can move them to documented. One of the best things that we can do for our economy is to pass comprehensive immigration reform.
Richie, you got real concerns here that this will exacerbate not only the housing crisis, but also the border crisis. What did you make of Pelosi's comments there?
Yeah, bravo on pushing back against Pelosi. The problem with Pelosi and others like her, Schumer as well, they all love to embrace the most radical ideology and proposals. We have existing residents and citizens here that are hardworking, law-abiding. We need to take care of them. Instead, we've got this issue here, not only in San Francisco and California, but elsewhere, that are emboldening crime and homelessness due to drug addiction and drug dealing and fentanyl and open borders. And here in California, the high gas prices and on and on. That's what we need to be addressing. We need to be able to bring those prices down to be able to have us these residents be able to spend more. That will help with the tax base. That will help with our California economy, and then by extension around the country. We don't need to be bringing in others who shouldn't lawfully even be crossing the border and try and accommodate them.
Yeah, look, the Democrats say that this is the right thing to do, but you've got a lot of struggling Americans who may think otherwise here. And the fact that there's concerns about this pushing or pulling people to come to this country unlawfully. A lot to think about there. Richie Greenberg, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.